Hi, guys. Welcome back. Every month, I try to do one show on layoffs. And the one thing that always gets me about layoff videos is every single day, there's always fresh ones out there. Let's watch a couple of them together to see what people are going through with regards to their jobs. Hit subscribe.
Getting laid off after 7 years is such a humbling experience. The only thing that's really providing me comfort right now is going to my previous company's Glassdoor site and reading all of the most recent reviews. For some reason, that gives me comfort because the reviews are crazy and definitely spot on. The emotions are no joke. I feel like I'm so up and down. One minute it's grief, confusion, anger, rage, sad, and I'm mourning like the time and energy and effort that I gave over the past 7 years. And the next minute I am writing out a response or thinking about what I should have said when I got the news. If you've ever been in my shoes, laid off or unemployed, if you felt this way, and what you did to stay positive and keep pushing forward.
It's kind of like the reverse feeling of when you're a kid and you're all lined up against the wall and you're picked first or second to play touch football on the football field at recess. It's the reverse feeling of that. It's like you're one of the first two or three that get eliminated, right, and get the layoffs. She said earlier that she likes going to Glassdoor and looking at like what people leave reviews of her previous job. Sometimes jobs get you so upset, right? You had a supervisor or manager there that just did not act professional with you. And all of a sudden you go to their reviews and you see that a lot of people felt the same way. Misery loves company.
Hey, I just had to take a moment before I break down. Today is my son's 35th birthday. He's no longer here with me. And I was just sitting here thinking, like, some moments just hit you. And I guess I'm doing my own documentary because I've been documenting a lot. My emotions, what I'm going through this
Right?
season, these layoffs that people act like they don't exist. But I'm not ashamed to say I'm starting over.
Right.
Not because I failed, but because life tried to bury me. And I keep finding ways to bloom, my God. I keep standing.
So think about what she just said there, because that first 40 seconds was powerful. Life has continuously tried to bury her, and she keeps finding a way to keep standing, right? It's her son's birthday, who would have been 35, but he's no longer on the earth. And then on top of that, she's dealing with a layoff. She's got bills coming up that she doesn't know how she's going to pay, but she has her faith. Sometimes that's all we have.
And I'm still here. Even without a home, I'm going to lose on the 30th of this month, which is next week. Even in grief. Even when the world is rooting for me to give up, I still stand. I'm still here. So anyone that is going through something similar or not, if you know what grief is, if you know what it is to struggle for that one season or maybe 2 seasons, but you're still here, brother, sister, I salute you because it's not easy. So you guys have an amazing day and just keep me in prayer.
That's the type of person you want to root for, right? She's praying she's praying that the Lord gives her strength and that she find a way through this, and God willing, that will happen. If you're feeling those same feelings, I feel for you. I know that it's not easy in this world. It's the toughest it's ever been. So even if I say, hey, I went through that 15, 20 years ago, 15 or 20 years ago, it was not as tough as it is now. So just know you're going through a really tough time, and I feel for you.
I busted my ass and I was just laid off. These companies do not care about us. They want us to give us a 2-week notice, but yet can just fire us and ruin our lives on the spot any day that they choose. I have a 2-year-old son, no savings, which is my fault. And so now I have to go back on the job hunt. And I have to get a work from home job because I have a 2-year-old that I have to take care of. Can't afford daycare. Rent is $2,500 where I live. Now I gotta find out how to pay off my lease early because there's no way that we could afford to live here. I don't even have a computer. They just locked me out of my computer.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
I really thought that the culture at my job was great, the best that it's ever been. And for them to just lay me off, not even based off of performance, because my manager just shouted me out today.
She brought up the fact that, like, your family, you are family until they let you go. And then it's like, hey, you're locked out. Get out of here. Tough, tough deal. Hopefully she bounces back. I don't know how you can nowadays, though things are so expensive. You know what sucks too? You lose your job, and then guess what? Pretty soon your credit is in danger because if you have to get out of your lease, if you end up breaking your lease and owing a balance, right? If you end up putting stuff on credit cards and then defaulting on your payments, you can go from somebody with a really nice credit score and a really nice job and a really nice place to live, and within 2 or 3 months, you can have all of that erased. God, how scary.
To receive your severance payment, you'll need to sign a severance agreement.
Sure.
Your severance agreement is provided to you on your last day. So it comes on June 2nd, and you have 10 days to review and sign the agreement. You'll get it via DocuSign to your personal email. Can you confirm your personal email for me?
Yeah, just put it in the chat.
This is the end of the pay period we're on now, so you'll get that standard paycheck that you would normally get on May 30th, normally, as the 31st falls on a weekend, so you'll get it on the 30th.
Wait a minute, I just noticed something. You guys watch a lot of these videos with me. Is that the same lady's voice? I'm serious. We've heard a couple of these, like, people getting laid off in front of us. Wouldn't that be crazy if they're using some AI voice and they're making this up? Oh my God, I think that's happening. I've heard this lady's voice before. Listen to this lady's voice.
Or the 31st. And then on June 2nd, you'll get your last day of pay. So June 2nd is a Monday. You'll be paid out for that day on June 2nd via direct deposit.
Okay.
It allows you to continue your existing group health plan for the Affordable Care Act and short-term plans that you can get directly through coverers. I want you to know that I'm here to support you, not just today, but throughout the rest of your transition. And if anything comes up later or you need clarification, you're always welcome to reach out to me directly, either via phone or through Slack.
She's like, I want you to know that I'll be here with you throughout the day, and then when you leave, we'll never see you again, but I'm here for you for at least the rest of the day.
Or through my email, but the phone or Slack are probably the best ways to reach me. We appreciate everything you've done. Wish you the best moving forward. A couple things to know for today is that the teams you are not the only person who is affected by the reduction in force. So individuals are being informed today, and then the org as a whole will be informed at 10 PT. So 1 p.m. Eastern time. I do recommend, and you can take the rest of today off if you would like.
Okay.
And then you can set up time.
Says I took the rest of the 2 weeks off. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Good for you.
I think the next thing to also be aware of is we are going to ask that you not attend the retreat. So you have time next week for offboarding.
Please don't come to the company meeting. You mean the nice one at the steakhouse? I'm coming to that. No, please don't.
Just one question. Just want to make sure that the reason for me being let go is due to reductions that's happening in the reorganization and not related to any sort of performance assessments or performance-based activities. Okay, cool.
No, there is going to be a wider communication today that fully explains the restructuring of the engineering staff as a whole. So you will get to see kind of why and how your role was impacted and where those responsibilities that you...
You know, I'm one of these guys that, yeah, I understand that it's not performance-based, but if they're keeping some of you, they're keeping the ones that perform higher than you. They've got to be. They're lying to us. Damn it.
Well, sitting here on my porch trying to get some fresh air.
Beautiful. Beautiful house.
I found out yesterday that I was one of approximately 150 people in my organization that got let go.
You're going to have to sell.
The last 24 hours have been, actually 24 plus hours, I guess. It's now 28 hours. Have been pretty tough. A lot of emotions. It's really the first time I think I've ever been laid off in my, God knows how long I've been working. It seems like forever, 30 years maybe. I don't know, long time, 30 plus years. So now I'm out in the market at 53 years old. Don't know what's going to happen. Apparently, I do have some severance. Still waiting to find out the details on that. So at least
That's
I
nice.
know I'm going to be carried for a little bit before I have to start dipping into any reserves or any other additional funds. Trying to avoid all that.
What's really shitty is a lot of us don't have any reserves or additional funds, and the first thing we start doing is ditching out on things we need, like healthcare and proper food and dietary stuff. We start eating like crap, and before you know it, you're living in your car down by the lake.
So I got laid off today. Yep. What I was fearing most this year because of all the changes happening within the education system happened. And I made a video about this a couple of weeks ago, talking about how a lot of people within the industry are getting laid off due to federal funding being cut, due to various staff reduction, things of that nature. So anyway, I just thought now that I share my journey now that I have been laid off and now I have to really find a replacement. Am I sad? I'm absolutely sad. I'm devastated that I have to leave a place where I really loved working. It's okay because I have all the resources that I've talked about on this platform. We have resumes that are created with the help of AI. We have other resources like networking, we have LinkedIn, and we're just going to keep marching forward. So
What she said there is really true. You get to the point where you really enjoy some of your coworkers, they are your buddies. And for some reason, when we stop working with one another, it's almost like we never see them again. You know what I mean? It's like they left the earth. And if this is a simulation, then they never existed in the first place. Moving on.
I got laid off today, and I was not going to make a video about this. I wasn't sure that I was going to publicly talk about this, but because we are in 2025 and there is this great layoff movement that is happening and people are going through this every single day, I wanted to come on here and say a couple of things. First things first, if you do not feel secure in your job and if you are afraid of being laid off, trust your discernment. Honey, be prepared. Last year, I recognized that my services were no longer needed within this company. So when the layoff word started being passed around in early 2025, I wholeheartedly believed that my job was going to be at the top of the list of being eliminated. And today, I found out that I was not wrong. So I'll say it again. Step one, if you feel even the teensiest bit of insecurity in that job, believe it. Trust your gut.
Amen. I've said that at least 100 times, right, guys? Trust your gut. There is something magical about your gut. If we've lived on this timeline and we're immortal and we've been here forever, then our gut knows all the answers. So whenever it tings and something tells you that something's wrong, listen to your gut. I'm telling you.
And start preparing. How do you prepare? Get that resume together. Get that resume together. If you are able to hire yourself a career coach, do that also. Prepare yourself. If it's been a while since you've been in the job force and you've actually had to look for a job like myself, you need somebody to help teach you how to interview. Guess what? Cover letters, they're coming back. They're making a comeback. You got to learn how to write a cover letter. Also, look into looking at recruiting firms. Find what's out there. LinkedIn will not get you where you want to go. Google will not get you where you want to go. Know what industry that you want to work in and start there. And then find a recruiter or a consulting firm that can help you navigate that space. Get specific. Get your notebook out, get your journal out, and be specific in what you're looking for because you cannot do it on your own. I'm still employed until June 12th, and I'm going to walk you guys through this journey and how I've prepared myself through it, how I prepared my family for it. And do we have everything together? No. However, I will say that mentally, mentally being prepared, that is the best place to start.
Okay, so she obviously has a game plan, and it sounds to me like since today is the 22nd, she's been unemployed for about what, 10 days. And her name is Tierra Mays underscore Iowa. Okay. So my thinking is we ought to check up on her in the future because wouldn't that be crazy if in 2, 3, 4 months she's starting to do those videos where she's like, still not working. There's something in this job market. It's rigged. All this AI. I mean, you never know because at first you're thinking I'm going to bounce right back and get a job. You never know what's coming. Hopefully she is already working again.
Hey y'all. Man, it's taken me a long time to get to the point where I wanted to actually come on here and post a video, but
Mindy Cohn from Facts of Life. Doesn't she look like Natalie from Facts of Life? If you know that show, tell me I'm right. She looks like a modern day Natalie from Facts of Life.
I'm really at the end of my rope and I'm not sure what else to do. So a little bit of backstory. I worked as a director of client delivery and also a director of operations at a Fortune 15 organization for the last 2 years. So I've worked really hard. I have 3 degrees. I have an MBA. Worked really hard throughout my life to get into corporate America and rise through the ranks and do a really good job. Loved my job, was at a great organization, but corporate America, and I was laid off with 136 of my colleagues back in November of 2024. I knew the job market was brutal. I didn't realize it was this brutal. I still have not found employment. I've applied to well over 300 jobs. I've had some interviews. I get to final rounds. It's always somebody else that they go with.
Okay, so think about this. The previous gal is unemployed for 10 days and she has a game plan to get right back into working as soon as possible, and we're wishing her well. But this person was probably thinking the same thing, and now she's going on 8, 9 months without working. That is crazy, and this is happening to a lot of our brothers and sisters out there. So be empathetic for everybody because we don't want this to happen to anybody.
So I know that it's not my experience. It's just someone maybe that has more experience than I do. I don't know. But I'm at the point where I've exhausted everything. I'm a single parent, so I'm the only earner. I have exhausted my severance package. I've exhausted my savings. I've exhausted my Fidelity accounts, all of my stock. Everything's gone.
That is scary. Oh my God. You look at her, and I bet you for the first 2, 3 weeks of unemployment, she probably still went to Starbucks. She probably still went shopping with her girlfriends, right? Now she's literally exhausted all of her Fidelity, which I'm assuming by that she means her 401k and if she had an IRA plan. Oh, wow. And I think on some of those, you end up having to pay the taxes.
I'm down to the last bit to get me through the next few weeks. On top of it, my landlord has told me that he is selling the house that I rent from him that I've been in for the last 3 years. He's selling that at the end of my lease, which is up at the end of August. So if you know anything about renting, you can't go get a new place if you can't show proof of employment.
And you have to make what, 2.5 to 3.5 times the rent?
I need a job and I need it now. I'm well qualified. Like I said, I have 3 degrees. I have an MBA.
Those are the ones that are having the hardest time getting the jobs. Some of us are having a hard time getting subscribers and people to hit the thumbs up button, so make sure you do. And for once in your life, leave a comment. You've been through this before. Tell us how to get through on the other side. Leave a comment, hit the thumbs up button, come back again tomorrow. We'll watch some more videos together. Have a good night.